Have you ever woken up feeling like you definitely dreamed something, only to have the memory vanish before you could grasp it? Or maybe you go entire nights, even weeks, without remembering a single dream at all. You're not alone. And it's not just a fluke of the brain. In fact, ancient Buddhist wisdom suggests there's a much deeper, hidden reason why we forget our dreams. In modern times, we often blame poor sleep, stress, or brain chemistry. But thousands of years ago, Buddhist monks were already exploring the dream world not just for answers, but as a spiritual path. They believed dreams weren't random. They were messages, reflections of our karma, and even opportunities to reach enlightenment. Yet, most people never remember them, let alone use them for awakening. Why? Because the very nature of our mind, the way it clings, distracts, and forgets, is designed to filter out dream awareness. According to Buddhism, your inability to remember dreams is tied to the same ignorance that keeps you trapped in the illusion of everyday life. In this video, we're going deep. You'll learn 7 hidden Buddhist secrets that reveal why you don't remember your dreams and what to do about it. From karmic imprints and consciousness states to powerful meditative practices and simple habits that can change everything, this is a guide not just to remembering your dreams, but to transforming your mind. By the end of this video, you'll see dreaming in a whole new way. And if you stay with me, I'll even show you how Buddhist monks train to dream on purpose and remember everything. Ready to wake up inside your dreams? Let's begin. 1. The nature of dreams. Before we can understand why we forget dreams, we have to understand what dreams actually are. Not just from a scientific perspective, but from the profound lens of Buddhist philosophy. Because to the ancient Buddhist masters, dreams were never just random flashes of the subconscious. They were messages, symbols, and signs, mirrors of your inner world, and even tools for awakening. From a Buddhist standpoint, everything in existence, including our waking life, is a projection of the mind. So what does that make dreams? Simply another layer of that projection. But here's the twist. In Buddhist thought, the dream world isn't necessarily less real than waking life. Both are impermanent, ever-changing, and ultimately illusory. This teaching is grounded in the concept of Maya, or illusion, which we'll explore deeper in the next section. But even in early Buddhist texts like the Tibetan Book of the Dead and the teachings of Dzogchen and Mahamudra, dreams are treated as legitimate fields for self-inquiry and spiritual practice. They are seen as reflections of our emotional patterns, our karmic traces, and the deeper workings of the subconscious. According to these traditions, our dreams carry messages from our inner self that, when properly understood, can help us dissolve suffering and confusion. In fact, Buddhist monks use dreaming as a form of spiritual training. There's an entire practice called dream yoga, which teaches practitioners how to become conscious during dreams, what we now call lucid dreaming. The first step to that training? Remembering your dreams, but most of us can't even get there. Why? Because the modern mind has become cluttered and distracted. We don't treat dreams as meaningful. We rush through the day in a fog, go to bed overstimulated, and wake up already worrying about emails and texts. In Buddhism, that's called mental obscuration, a state where your mind is too clouded to see what's really going on. And here's something most people don't know. Your dreams are shaped by your state of mind before you fall asleep. If you drift into unconsciousness without intention, without clarity, your mind does what it always does: wanders, forgets, repeats patterns. And in that fog, your dreams become harder and harder to remember. So understanding the nature of dreams isn't just about fascination. It's essential. Because once you see that your dreams are crafted by your own mind, you also realize you have the power to change them, to remember them, to wake up inside them. That's what the Buddhist path offers. Not just answers, but the tools to experience the truth directly. And that's just the beginning. Now that we've laid the foundation, let's go deeper into one of Buddhism's most mind-blowing teachings about reality itself, and how it secretly controls what you remember and forget in your dreams. 2. The illusion of reality. One of the most powerful teachings in Buddhism is the concept of Maya. The illusion of reality. This idea isn't just about philosophy or poetry. It's the key to understanding why we can't remember our dreams and why we often live our waking lives in the same unconscious haze. In Buddhism, Maya refers to the deceptive nature of appearances. Things seem solid, permanent, and real. But when you examine them closely, they're fluid, ever-changing, and empty of fixed identity. That includes your body, your thoughts, your memories, and yes, your dreams. Everything is like a dream, not in the sense that it's fake, but in the sense that it's fleeting and shaped by perception. So how does this relate to dream recall? Here's the truth. The same mental patterns that make us believe our waking world is real and fixed are the same patterns that cause us to dismiss dreams as unreal, unimportant, and forgettable. If you see dreams as illusions while clinging to waking life as real, you've already fallen into the trap of Maya. You've divided experience into what matters and what doesn't. And your brain, trained by habit, will toss out dreams as useless noise. But the Buddha taught that both the dream world and the waking world are just different layers of the same illusion. They're both mind-created. They both arise from karma, desire, fear, and mental conditioning. This understanding isn't just philosophical, it's deeply practical. If you train your mind to treat dreams with the same awareness you bring to waking life, you begin to bridge the gap between these states. That's when dream recall becomes possible. Here's a mind-blowing Buddhist technique to begin breaking the illusion. Throughout your day, ask yourself, am I dreaming right now? Look around. Question everything. Is this real? Could this be a dream? This isn't just a trick for lucid dreaming, it's a method for waking up from both kinds of illusion. The dream illusion and the waking illusion. And here's why this matters for memory. Your brain and your consciousness, remember what they value. If you don't value your dreams, your mind won't bother holding on to them. But if you treat dreams as real experiences, worthy of attention and meaning, your subconscious responds. You'll start to recall them more vividly and more often. You're rewiring your awareness to pay attention across all states of consciousness. This is the hidden Buddhist secret. Your forgetfulness is not a flaw. It's a result of how your mind has been conditioned to ignore anything that doesn't fit into the illusion of normal life. But once you begin to dismantle that illusion, even a little, you open the door to deeper insight, both in dreams and in waking life. And if you thought this was deep, wait until we talk about what happens to your mind during sleep, and how Buddhism maps it out in ways modern science is just beginning to understand. 3. The mind in sleep. In Buddhism, understanding the mind is everything. It's not just the source of your thoughts. It's the lens through which you experience the entire universe. And when you sleep, that lens doesn't shut off. It just shifts into a different mode of awareness. This is one of the core teachings that explains why most people don't remember their dreams. They don't understand what's actually happening to their consciousness during sleep. Let's break it down. According to Buddhist psychology, your mind operates on multiple levels. In waking life, you function mostly in the conscious mind, thinking, analyzing, reacting. But when you fall asleep, you begin to descend into subtler and subtler levels of awareness. The outer senses shut down. Thoughts fade. But the subtle mind, what some traditions call the dream mind, becomes active. The subtle mind is the part of you that experiences dreams. It's still you, but it's a version of your consciousness that isn't distracted by external stimuli. It's more raw, symbolic, and honest. And here's the secret. The clearer your mind is before sleep, the more easily you'll access and remember what happens in this subtle state. But most people go to bed with a chaotic mind, scrolling, worrying, replaying the day's events. This mental noise creates turbulence that carries into sleep. In Buddhist terms, this is called vritti, the mental fluctuations that disturb the stillness of consciousness. If your mind enters sleep in a disturbed state, your dreams will be scattered, and your memory of them, blurred or non-existent. Now here's the part that modern neuroscience is starting to catch up with. Buddhist teachings suggest that consciousness doesn't fully shut off even in deep sleep. Instead, it transitions between gross, subtle, and very subtle levels. These stages are mirrored in the sleep cycle. Light sleep, REM sleep, where dreaming occurs, and deep non-REM sleep. When you're dreaming, you're in the subtle consciousness. But to remember a dream, the mind has to bridge the gap between subtle and gross consciousness, the dream state and the waking state. If that transition is rough, or your waking mind is foggy or distracted, the dream slips away like mist. Ever had a dream so vivid you swore you'd never forget it, only to lose it within seconds of waking up? That's the handoff failing. Buddhist masters have trained for centuries to keep awareness even during sleep. In advanced practices like dream yoga, the practitioner remains conscious during dreaming and can even observe their body sleeping while their mind explores inner dimensions. To get there, they start with mindfulness, not just during the day, but as they fall asleep. They calm the breath, focus the mind, and enter sleep consciously. If you begin to pay attention to how your mind feels before bed, if you can bring calm and clarity into those last moments of waking, you'll strengthen the bridge between the subtle and waking mind. That's when dream recall begins to open up. But what's driving those dreams in the first place? Why do certain images, people, or fears show up again and again? 4. Karma and dream memory. If you've ever wondered why your dreams seem to follow strange patterns, why certain people or themes keep showing up, or why some dreams feel so emotionally intense they linger for hours, it might not be random. According to Buddhism, your dreams are deeply influenced by your karma. Karma isn't just what goes around comes around. It's far more intricate than that. In Buddhist philosophy, karma refers to the imprints left on your consciousness by past actions, mental, emotional, and physical. Every thought, word, or deed plants a seed in the mind. These karmic seeds don't disappear. They stay in your subtle consciousness and ripen when the conditions are right, often during dreams. While you sleep, your gross awareness fades and the deeper layers of your mind rise to the surface. This is where karma expresses itself. The images in your dreams are like karmic echoes, symbols, memories, and emotional imprints surfacing from deep within. That's why you might dream of someone you haven't seen in years, or experience a scenario that mirrors a past trauma or desire. You're witnessing your own karmic movie. Now here's where dream memory comes into play. Karma doesn't just influence what you see in dreams, it also affects what you remember. If you've created habits in waking life that reinforce distraction, numbness, or emotional avoidance, those patterns continue in your sleep. You might dream vividly, but your karmic tendency is to disconnect, and that carries into your ability to recall dreams. Conversely, if your karma includes mindfulness, introspection, and spiritual practice, your dreams and your memory of them will become clearer. That's why Buddhist monks emphasize daily awareness practices. The clearer your mind becomes during the day, the more lucid and memorable your nights will be. Another factor is karmic purification. Some dreams aren't random. They're your mind's way of processing unresolved karma. This could be fear, guilt, shame, or even unexpressed joy. In this sense, forgetting a dream may not be a failure of memory, but a subconscious act of self-protection. Your mind might be shielding you from karmic material you're not yet ready to face. But with compassion and practice, you can begin to remember and even transform those karmic dream patterns. One powerful technique used in Tibetan Buddhism is setting an intention before sleep. Practitioners recite specific mantras or affirmations like, "Tonight I will remember my dreams. May my dreams reveal wisdom and insight." This isn't superstition. It's a way of planting a new karmic seed, one that values awareness and invites memory. There are also specific meditations used to purify negative karmic imprints before bed, such as the Vajrasattva mantra, or visualization practices that dissolve mental clutter. When karma is purified, your dreams become less chaotic and your memory sharper. You're no longer just a passive observer in the dream realm. You become an active participant. In the next one, we'll explore a tool that Buddhist monks have used for centuries to awaken both in dreams and in waking life. A practice that can supercharge your dream recall: meditation. Fifth, meditation's secret power. If there's one practice that holds the key to unlocking dream recall and transforming your entire relationship with sleep and consciousness, it's meditation. In Buddhism, meditation isn't just about sitting still or relaxing. It's a technique to train the mind, refine awareness, and ultimately wake up from illusion. And when used correctly, meditation becomes a powerful bridge between the waking mind and the dream world. But how exactly does meditation help you remember your dreams? Let's start with what meditation actually does. When you meditate, you slow down your thoughts, focus your attention, and bring your awareness into the present moment. Over time, this practice changes the way your mind functions. It becomes less scattered, less reactive, and more observant. And this has a direct effect on your ability to recall dreams. Most people don't remember their dreams because their minds are too distracted, either right before sleep or immediately upon waking. Meditation changes that by cultivating mindfulness, the ability to remain aware even as thoughts come and go. If you can train your mind to stay aware during the chaos of the day, that awareness will naturally begin to extend into the dream state. In Buddhist traditions, especially Tibetan Buddhism, monks and practitioners meditate with a specific intention: to carry that awareness into sleep. They focus on the breath, the heart center, or even visualize deities or light dissolving into their mind as they drift off. This isn't just spiritual symbolism, it's a neurological hack. It prepares the brain to stay semi-conscious as you transition into sleep, making it easier to access and remember dream content. There's also another level: post-meditation awareness. After meditation, your mind remains calmer and more receptive. If you meditate consistently, especially before bed, you create a clean slate for sleep. The stillness allows the subtle dream impressions to land softly in your mind, instead of getting washed away by a flood of morning distractions. A simple practice to begin with is mindfulness of breath before sleep. Sit quietly for 5 to 10 minutes, eyes closed, and gently focus on the sensation of breathing. Let go of thoughts. Let go of effort. Just be. As you settle into sleep from that place, you're more likely to remain connected to the deeper layers of mind and your dreams. Some Buddhist dream practitioners also recommend waking up gently, without alarm clocks or sudden noise, so you don't jolt yourself out of the dream state. Instead, they wake slowly, remain still for a few moments, and ask, "What was I dreaming?" Often, the dream floats back in with clarity. As your meditation practice deepens, you may begin to experience moments of lucidity, when you become aware that you're dreaming while still inside the dream. This is a major breakthrough in dream recall and control, and it's exactly what the next section is about. Because once you start to remember your dreams, the next step is to consciously wake up inside them. 6. Lucid dreaming and awareness. Imagine being inside a dream and suddenly realizing, wait, this is a dream. At that moment, everything changes. You're no longer a passive observer, trapped in the strange logic of the dream world. You become conscious, awake within the dream. This is called lucid dreaming, and for centuries, Buddhist practitioners have used it not just for fun or fantasy, but for deep spiritual insight and transformation. In the modern world, lucid dreaming is often framed as a psychological trick or a tool for self-exploration. But in Buddhism, especially within the Vajrayana and Dzogchen traditions, lucid dreaming is part of a sacred discipline called dream yoga. It's considered a powerful way to train the mind, purify karma, and even prepare for death and rebirth. Lucid dreaming begins with one critical skill: awareness. And that awareness is built through meditation, mindfulness, and the daily habit of questioning your reality. Remember the practice mentioned earlier, asking yourself during the day, "Am I dreaming?" It might seem simple, but over time, this habit begins to carry over into the dream state. Suddenly, in the middle of a dream, you'll ask the same question and wake up inside the dream. From a Buddhist view, this isn't just a neat trick. It's a direct experience of the teaching that reality is mind-made. When you realize you're dreaming, you see that what felt solid and serious is actually fluid and illusory. And here's the secret: the same realization can begin to influence your waking life. You start to see the patterns, attachments, and fears that dominate your everyday experience, and realize they're just as dreamlike, just as empty. Lucid dreaming also enhances dream recall dramatically. Why? Because when you're aware during a dream, you interact with it. You remember the colors, the people, the choices you made, because they were made consciously. This depth of engagement leaves a stronger impression on your subtle mind, making it easier to bring the memory across the boundary into waking life. Buddhist dream yoga teaches several techniques to develop lucid awareness. One method involves visualizing your body turning to light as you fall asleep, reminding yourself, "Tonight I will recognize the dream state." Another involves maintaining continuous awareness of the breath or mental mantra, even as the body falls asleep. Once lucid, practitioners are encouraged to test and explore, not just by flying or bending reality, but by meditating within the dream, asking questions like, "Who is dreaming?" or "What is the nature of this experience?" These inquiries can trigger profound realizations, sometimes even more intense than those reached in waking meditation. Some advanced monks report being able to remain aware even through the process of falling asleep and waking up again, maintaining a continuous thread of consciousness across all states. This level of mastery begins with simple dream recall, but it grows with practice, intention, and awareness. But even the most powerful dream techniques can be blocked by one thing: your daily habits. What you do during the day, the way you eat, think, and even use your phone, can either open or close the door to the dream world. 7. Daily habits. Blocking dreams. You might be doing everything right, meditating, setting intentions, even trying lucid dreaming, but still struggling to remember your dreams. If that sounds familiar, the problem might not be your spiritual practice at all. It could be your daily habits. In Buddhist thought, your day and night are not separate. They're one continuous stream of consciousness. And what you do during the day deeply impacts what you experience at night. Let's start with something simple but powerful: stimulation overload. We live in an era of constant input. Phones, screens, notifications, endless scrolling. Every time you switch apps or multitask, you train your mind to fragment its attention. This fragmentation carries into sleep, making it harder to form clear, cohesive dreams, or remember them at all. In Buddhism, this would be described as restlessness of mind, a major obstacle on the path to awareness. Your diet and sleep hygiene also play a major role. Eating heavy or overly processed food right before bed can create physical discomfort and mental fog. Similarly, irregular sleep patterns disrupt the natural rhythms of REM cycles, the stages of sleep where dreaming occurs. Monks often follow simple routines: light meals in the evening, no eating after sunset, and consistent sleep and wake times. These aren't just health tips. They're practices to support dream clarity. Another overlooked factor is emotional residue. Many people go to sleep carrying the stress, frustration, or unresolved emotions of the day. If your mind is filled with tension, your dreams become chaotic or repressed entirely. Buddhism teaches the importance of mental purification before sleep. This can be done through evening meditation, prayer, journaling, or even a short practice of compassion and letting go. If you clear the mind before sleep, dreams become more vivid, meaningful, and easier to remember. Then there's your relationship with technology. If your last action before bed is scrolling through social media or binge-watching something intense, your subconscious will be overstimulated. This not only affects dream recall, but can fill your dreams with fragmented or meaningless content. Buddhist teachings emphasize the quality of what you consume, not just food, but mental input. The clearer, calmer, and more conscious your evening routine, the more likely your dreams will reflect those qualities. One more subtle but critical point: intention. In Buddhism, intention, cetana, is the root of karma. If you go to bed without intention, without a clear mental direction, your dreams will be shaped by unconscious patterns. But if you sleep with mindfulness, even a simple internal statement like, "Tonight I will remember my dreams," you activate your deeper awareness. This aligns your conscious and unconscious mind and plants the seed for clearer recall. Try this before bed. Turn off all screens 30 minutes early. Sit in silence, breathe deeply, and set your intention. Then, as you wake up, don't move immediately. Stay still, keep your eyes closed, and let the dream return. It often will. In the end, your daily life is your spiritual practice. The more you bring awareness, clarity, and intention into your waking hours, the more your dreams will respond. Now, let's bring it all together. Dreams aren't just strange nighttime movies. They're powerful mirrors of your subconscious, reflections of your karma, and gateways to deep spiritual insight. If you've struggled to remember your dreams, it's not because you're broken. It's because you've been disconnected from the deeper layers of your own mind. Buddhism teaches us that remembering dreams isn't about talent. It's about awareness. By understanding the nature of reality as illusion, calming the mind through meditation, and clearing karmic imprints, you begin to access the dream world with new clarity. Every thought you think during the day, every distraction you indulge in, and every intention you set before sleep becomes part of your dreaming mind. But the most exciting part? You can wake up, not just in your dreams, but in your life. Lucid dreaming and dream yoga show us that consciousness doesn't stop when we sleep. It just shifts. And if you train your awareness, your dreams become more than forgettable flickers. They become a sacred space for healing, discovery, and awakening. So tonight, try it. Slow down, breathe, set an intention. Your dreams are waiting. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more hidden spiritual wisdom just like this. The journey is just beginning.